Fantastic. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I say first in Finnish, because this is on Finnish-speaking website too. Eli tervetuloa Rosebud Stage-kanavalle YouTubessa, tai missä olettekaan ikinä. Tervetuloa myös tänne kauppaan. So welcome everybody to Rosebud Books YouTube stage. Well, it's in YouTube, like I told you, it will be forever. So anyway, I'm Iida Simes, journalist from Finland, interviewing Andrei Kureichik, because this is very important thing. Andrei is leaving soon for the United States, and he has been in Finland for quite some time, which is fortunate for us, but unfortunate for politics, because please tell me first briefly, why did you have to leave Belarus and when?
Yes, thank you very much for this presentation. I, for 20 years, worked in the fields of theater, like a playwright, writing plays, writing books of plays in Belarus and in Ukraine and in Russia. But in 2020, when every Belarusian person made his internal choice, I became a member of team of our leader, Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, fantastic lady, and new light in this darkness of dictatorship we had for 27 years with Mr. Lukashenko, and we all supported Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, yes, including our Nobel Prize winner in literature, Svetlana.
She was very active at the time of the elections.
Yeah, because we all, I mean, theater people, literature people, film people, artists, we united because we wanted changes in the country. You know, 27 years of one president, of one dictatorship, no freedoms, no rights. Of course, nobody wanted it last longer. So when Svetlana take the courage, it was big courage because she was alone with only two ladies, Maria Kolesnikova and Veronika Tsepkala, against this totalitarian system. And all people of goodwill united to help her. And I was in the team. And then I, with Svetlana Alexievich, was in the coordinating council of Belarus, which united the most authoritative people from different spheres to support Svetlana Tikhanovskaya.
And if I may interrupt you, Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, who appeared to, or actually, according to the polls, did win the elections. But she wasn't the first choice. She became a candidate when her husband was put in jail. And he was like the first candidate, and then the wife becomes...
and not only
like
him, but as well, a lot of candidates who wanted to become, to go in this campaign. Lukashenko, understanding that he has no rating anymore, that people not support him anymore, he just put people in prison. And the only person who was allowed was Svetlana, because she was not known to everybody. She never had any political career or public career. So he thought that she will be like easy game. But on the contrary,
but Lukashenko lost.
He lost election
even
after 2
with
months
a
of campaign.
Woman who nobody knows.
Yes, and that made him so shocking and so cruel. And he started to be furious to people who supported Svetlana, and she was sent out from the country on the second day after election. Even were no official results, she was took by the special forces, put in the car, delivered to the border of Belarus and Lithuania, and thrown out from the country. And after that, enormous repressions started in Belarus against all the people who supported her. Millions of people were on the streets, that's true, but they were peaceful, and against them it was a lot of violent special forces, and we didn't understand why it happening in that time. Now we understand that it was Putin's support. Now we can see it because Putin needed Belarus as the Platzdarm for attack to Ukraine. So he supported Lukashenko with money and with people and with equipment. So we saw the equipment which never been in Belarus before.
And Tikhanovskaya actually, the lady who won the elections, the legitimate president, she's now, she has fled Belarus. She's not there anymore. Her husband, the original candidate, is in jail. You, who were demonstrating against all these falsified elections, you are now here in Helsinki, soon to be in the United States. And this is just like escalating still.
I switched many countries because in one day in autumn 2020, my lawyer called me and said that all coordinating council members will be arrested, and it started. Maria Kolesnikova was arrested, and Lilia Vlasova and others, and my lawyer said that you must leave country today if you want. And for example, for Svetlana Alexievich, all the ambassadors came to her apartment and defended her as a life shield against...
Yeah, they were going to imprison her as well. Yeah.
So they just defended by their bodies all the EU ambassadors in her apartment. Pavel Latushka, another member of our coordinating council, was delivered to Poland in the diplomatic car of Polish embassy. So people were made to escape or arrested. So it was only one choice. And in that day, in the morning, I discussed it with my family because I have a big family. I have, together with my wife, we have 5 children. That my responsibility is to stay and freedom to support them, to help. And now the oldest son with me, and I can rescue him from Belarus, and we make documents to take other member families. Yes, it was very difficult choice, but I really thought that I'm leaving country for a few weeks. I left it with one small bag and that's it, because I thought that in 2 or 3 weeks I will be back in the new Belarus. I left to Ukraine, to Odessa, and I started theater project there on the theater festival in Kherson, which is now occupied by Russian troops, in Kherson theater, and then in other Ukrainian theaters. And then I just made a big project about Belarusian revolution in theater, including here in National Theatre it was, and in another Finnish theatre, and in Dramaten in Stockholm, in many theatres, more than 200 venues.
And it has been in Yle Areena. It's the YLE broadcasting company website.
Yeah. So we created some artistic project of resistance and supporting Belarusian people, But of course, the main problem that Lukashenko stayed in power and united with Putin, and now becomes danger not only for himself and for his people, but as well for whole Europe.
But let's go there, because I interviewed you in March when the war had been going on for only like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something like that. But we talked with you beforehand, and you said to me already in January that there will be a war, and yes, there was a war. But I have heard the latest from Russia and Belarus are that it's not only, like you said then, that Belarus is a hostage of Russia, but now Putin has been talking about uniting so that Russia will suck Belarus into the ugly body of Russia.
Because Putin rescued Lukashenko, he saved his power in 2020. Lukashenko now is very influenced, and he is just muppet of Putin. But Lukashenko understands that the idea of war is very unpopular in Belarus, so he delaying a real active stuff. He gives.
Putin can't actually say that there are Nazis in Belarus, that the whole country is full of Nazis. They are not buying that.
It's not working like this.
Yeah.
Belarus suffered mostly during the Second World War. We lost 1/3 of population, and there is a consensus in society about Nazis and about war. It's absolutely anti-militaristic society. So Belarusian army doesn't want to go to the war. And we saw it in medias, we saw it in social medias. They just don't want, they don't know why they should die because of Putin's ambitions, but how it correlates with Belarusians to make like great Russia again. It's not Belarusians doesn't care about like others' lands, other countries' lands. So Lukashenko cannot make these people to go to the war. They don't want. So I hope that that it will not happen, because now the attitude of Ukrainians to Russians and Belarusians are very bad, and that's true because rockets come from both countries. But Belarusians not participate directly with the arms on the territory of Ukraine, and I hope that they will not. But we don't know how long Lukashenko will try to stay aside.
Well, one last thing. I have to ask you about this, but you have been traveling and working in many countries during your career as a film director and theater director, but you have to tell it now onto the tape. But you have been directing the current president of Ukraine.
Well, actually, in my movies was two presidents. In Russian movie, which called Yolki, which is like a Christmas tree name, the comedy. The small part played Dmitry Medvedev, who was the president of Russia.
Oh my goodness.
Between Putin, yeah. So he played himself. It was
cameo.
In 2008, when I think he had idea to stay in power, but Putin. And year after, the young comedian, fantastic comedian Vladimir Zelensky, who was just a unique comedy actor, he played the main part in the movie which called Office Romance, and it was just a nice comedy, and I never ever could think that this brilliant comedian could become a really strong politician and one of the leaders of the free world, and the person who didn't get out from Kiev when this huge army was just 10 kilometers nearby, and the tanks were on the streets of Kiev, and he stayed, and he still defending his country. So for me, it's just a unique person.
I hope that everything will get better and you can be going home, and then next time you visit, you come here in a peaceful world and bring your family.
I really appreciate it
like
to Finland, because it was the year of safety, the year of because before that it was travelings all the time and no home, no place where I can just stay for longer than 2 weeks or something like this. And this year in Finland was very good, and people fantastic, because the initiative which invites me, Artists at Risk, they did so many important things, and now they rescued, I think, dozens of Ukrainian artists from Kharkiv, from Kherson, from Odessa, from
and from Russia, and
actually
too. Yes.
Dissidents, Russian dissidents from Russia. For my apartment now is living Mikhail Durnenkov, who was the most important playwright in Russia, and in the first day he said, I want Russian army to lose this war. And after that, all the this patriotic Russian elite, they started to push him, and he was thrown out from the theater union, and his performances were closed first day. In 24th of February. So now he's in Finland with his wife and his son, working on Espoo Theatre, and many fantastic people had this help through Artists at Risk.
Many people always ask how they can support these things, and I can sort of advertise it at the end that you can support by supporting the organizations. You can also support Artists at Risk by buying the art. They have a website, just go there. And PEN is an organization of writers, playwrights, novelists, and PEN can be supported by, at the moment, not by individuals, but by journalists and writers. And also journalists have their ways of supporting. But I also appeal to the highest political levels that it's up to you, Sanna Marin, our Prime Minister, to change the world. Prime Minister Marin has already met with Tsihannouskaya, and yes. I know she's following up the situation.
And she visited Kiev and met with Vladimir Zelensky as well, and her support is so important.
But still, we are watching you all the time. Don't think you can have a rest or anything. But thank you now so much, and you have some days to celebrate your last days here. But then anyway, I'm looking forward to hearing from you what you will be doing in Yale.
And yes, I hope it will be a new project, but you can hear my play on Yle Arena. It's called Voices of New Belarus.
Uuden Valko-Venäjän äänet.
And it just got the prize.
It's in Finnish.
It's in Finnish with actors of National Theatre, which is fantastic. Yeah. And directed by Soile Valkama, and we just got this national prize, Kaura. Prize for Koura prize, yes, for best drama. So if you would like to meet with my texts, my literature, please listen to this play.
Thank you so much. Kiitos paljon. Spasiba.
Spasiba. Thank you. It was so good.
Thank you. We are still online.